We live. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? We are on CP time again this week. Cultural People's Time. Whenever the spirit hits you, we just walk in the door and let me touch you. You know what I'm saying? So, those who are with us, I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all see the legend over here next to me? You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who this man is, take your two fingers, put it either right here where your pulse is or on your neck to make sure you still living. You know what I'm saying? Co-host in the building. Maybe David's shaking my head. I'm shaking mine too. I appreciate you being here. But we got the Rely Show today, rebooting and uniting lost energy. Rebooting and uniting lost energy. One more time.
Rebooting and uniting lost energy.
So I'm talking to all those who know something's going wrong, going off, something's not going right, and you want to do something about it. I'm talking to that energy inside of you that maybe you suppress, oppress, don't talk to. I'm trying to reboot it. You know what I'm saying? If it's rebooting in you, watch the show, because every show I got something to do that. So we got our guest here today in the building. Hey. Brother K. Reno.
Hey.
Say what's up, Brother K.
Hey,
welcome.
What's going on? I'm so blessed and honored to be here with y'all on y'all platform and just looking forward to getting it on.
Oh man, I dig it. So humble. He can say a lot. He's so humble. I dig it. We got Cal. What's up, Cal?
What it do?
We got him on the ones and twos today. Brooklyn, how you doing?
I'm doing blacktastic. Thank
Man,
you,
I
brother.
dig
How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm
What's
good.
up?
Pretty decent week. I had a car accident this week.
Oh,
But
I see that.
yeah. Oh, you saw? Yeah. They rammed us good.
I wanted to ask you what happened.
Man, I don't know how you hit somebody at a complete stop, but I always figure when stuff like that happens, something
Always that
pop
one
off.
biker.
Yep.
Always that one biker that hits a parked car.
True, shoot. But I don't be tripping, man. Like I know something about to happen. The car's still running right now. So yeah, I ain't tripping. But so before we get into it with Brother K, we had our last our previous shows, we had
The
LaMarcus
dynamic
and
duo.
the duo in here, man. I don't know blank on the last name, but we had LaMarcus and Amber in here. Dang, how'd I go blank on blank on their last name like that? I'm sorry, y'all. Newman, thank you. That's why I got to call. The Newman Foundation was in here giving us game. Look
right.
them up on all the social medias. They're always down to help, give advice. They got their nonprofit going on, so look them up. A couple shows before that, we talked about police brutality. Man, we've had a plethora of topics. So we've had a plethora of problems, let me say that. So now we're about to get into solutions.
And we've been riding on
solutions, and that's the main, that's what we're trying to stay on, really, is the solution. So, I forgot to put my little Instagram on. So,
that's because Jessica didn't set you up.
Yeah, she didn't give me. My wife normally give me straight. So anyway, we're talking about solutions. So I went to ART like 2 Saturdays ago, I think it was. This month or last month?
Last month.
Yeah, last month. I went to ART, and ART's been around for a minute, but they took a break. But what they were doing in there was so dope, which is the main reason I brought you in, man, because you don't find, I remember we talked about this. We don't like supporting. Oh, by the way, my homeboy checked me. He said, man, you said you wasn't going to have no famous rappers on your show. He said you wasn't trying to do it like that. I said, yeah. And I did, yeah.
You still good. I ain't famous. I ain't like that.
Humble, man. Look, K is humble 100. Got all the reason to have an ego. So, you know what I'm saying? We got K in the building. But I had him on here, which will probably be the only one I have on here, because he's actually doing stuff in the community. And that's one of my things when I see people in the community, and you're very approachable.
Yeah, without a doubt. Absolutely.
I've been up to some rappers, not that I just know a whole bunch of people, not even just rappers, just like people that are, with that fame energy around
Celebrity.
them. Yeah, so-called celebrities that we celebrate. And even if you just ask them a simple question, not even on no, I'm not asking you for no money. I'm not asking you for an endorsement. maybe just some wise words.
Yeah.
And they'll come at you like, oh, whoa, who are you? Why are you talking to me? Where's my security? You know what I'm saying? So it was at a competition I think I was doing before.
Yeah. Right.
And I asked him, I said, hey man, if you don't mind, let me know how I do.
Right.
What you thinking? And when he said yes, I had to think. I'm like, whoa, did he just answer me? wait a minute.
Because
Okay.
you're so used to the other, so used to the other responses.
And they could have, like I said, I ain't gonna name no names. They could have been having a bad day. I'm sure they've grown since then, or maybe not. I don't know. But that was dope that you did that. Because, are you gonna say something?
No, I'm just that's how it ought to be. I mean, at the end of the day, we as musicians and artists, we are servants of the people. You know, the music we make, the content we put out, if we're trying our best to put out positive content, that's doing a service to the people. So we owe them back whatever it is. If they want to have a word with us, they want to talk to us, take a picture, whatever it is. And if you go into the business side of it, they spend money. They buy your music, they buy your merch, they buy. So it's disrespectful for somebody to come up to you and talk to you and you not give them something back. Now, you have moments where people cross the line, they go over the top, but that represents only 1% of the people. That happens every blue moon. But for the most part, people come to you because they got love for you. So it doesn't take anything to just give that back and just show appreciation for the people who have appreciation for you.
I hope y'all listening.
I hope
to
y'all
that.
heard that.
Oh, y'all celebrity, infamous,
And
famous.
then it's a
folks.
principle too, because man, you know,
That's right.
you're not guaranteed to be where you are today. You at the top today and everybody loving you and giving you that attention. You could lose that. Your star could fizzle out and you'll find yourself wishing that somebody approached you and asked you for an autograph. So you gotta be
That's right.
humble and thankful for the gift that the Creator gave to you. We didn't get whatever talent or whatever people see in us. We didn't give that to ourselves. That was a gift. So you can't get arrogant with it and feel like the very people who support and love you are beneath you. When you start thinking like that, in my eyes, you are already on the way out.
Yeah, because you can create a starvation, right? When you don't feed your focus, you don't feed your gifts and talents.
Come on.
Just like you spend time feeding your damn ego.
Right.
You gotta choose what you are going to feed and what you're going to starve.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be based on what you want to serve you. You gotta be of service to it.
Yeah, and feed yourself because
That's right.
because when they spend money on you, the reason why you in that car
That's right.
is because those people paid for that car. The reason why you in that nice house, the reason why you got this nice piece of jewelry on, or whatever it is you're doing, this restaurant you at, this was all funded and financed by the people.
And yeah, they played a part in it. So you should be playing a part in elevating them.
Without a
if
doubt.
it's a word or two or whatever, a picture, whatever it is that may allow them to excel greater. Absolutely.
And see, in the same way that you mentioned when you first met me, see, things can go left or right. As artists, as athlete, I don't care if you're an actor, whatever, you're gonna meet 1,000 million people. You're gonna meet a lot of people. You're not gonna remember every interaction you had with individuals that you met, but they're gonna remember the interaction they had with you, because that's just one moment. So you don't want to send them away with this bitterness towards you. They may have your post on their wall. You know, you may have said something that changed their life for the better. Then when they meet you in person, you an a-hole. You know, so the whole perception is now changed based on something that you could have just naturally been. I'm not saying just be fake and be over the top, but just be respectful and cordial as you should be to anybody, whether you was a rapper, a singer or not, you know.
And there's a duality of responsibility for that, right? In all relationships and everything we do, there's a duality of responsibility. So don't be a fan addict, right?
Right.
Respect is a mutual exchange. It's a give and take. It's a reciprocity. So don't just you owe me. I pay. I buy your stuff. Blah blah blah. You can't come at it with that type of attitude, because people be out here in their real life being real human beings, family time. Y'all know what Kanye said, when you see me in church, please know. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a space and time for it too. Be respectful. Ask. And you should do that in general. Ask people to come into their energy, to come into their zone, to come into their cipher anyway. You should be doing that. Just don't bombard people, because then when you get their reaction, it's because of the action.
Come on.
For every action, there's a reaction. So, I mean, you get how you come with it, and you have this high expectancy for them to elevate above it, but they're still just human beings. So depending upon what they doing, they at their mama funeral, and you like, yo, I need to
Right.
show you my demo.
Right.
And you probably gonna get a bad
Beautiful.
reaction. You're gonna get dealt with.
That's such a beautiful point. And but the great thing about it is that, again, those types only represent a small. But you don't get the, like you said, most people will come to you respectful. They'll say, hey, you mind if I take a picture? You know, they're real humble. They real, because they approach slow based on the fact they may have had other encounters with people who were rude with them. So yeah, that 1 or 2%, you know, yeah, they don't really make a they don't move the needle much. You know,
that's good to know.
But what you said was right on point, because it is a time and place where you have to say, okay, well, that's him or that's her, but this is not the time.
Yeah,
you know, this is not the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A little etiquette, man, for people that you look up to. You know, don't go up to them in a funeral or a church asking them for them to look at your demo or put you in a movie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? True words, man. So let me ask you a question, Kay. I'm gonna get into some questions real quick. You kind of answered a little bit. Do you think that when I say artists, whatever your art is that makes you so-called famous, do you think that all of them should give back to the community?
Yeah, because you're famous because of people in the community. You have whatever finance you have because of people in the community. So yeah, you owe that. You know, I believe that the gift you have is not just for a self-serving purpose. We should be, whatever it is, whatever we speak should be used to uplift people and make people better. That is a form of giving to the community. If I use my gift to change lives, I've given to the community. But it goes a step further than that, because people do need to see you boots on the ground, hands on, actually serving and making moves in the community as well. So yeah, I 100% believe in that. That's not just, it's a responsibility, it's an obligation, it's all of that. Because we take so much from the community that it's only natural. Sister just got through talking about reciprocity. That's the same thing. It's like, okay, something was given to you and you were placed in a position, you have to reciprocate that and give that back. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You can't just take the money and run. You can't just take the positions and run. You have to be visible.
But not expect longevity.
Come on now.
Because you want that thing to keep going around. Now, if you go in one directional,
that's in anything.
You hit, you fizzled out.
if you have a personal relationship, a friendship with somebody, it's the same thing. You know, this person is doing everything they can for you, and you're not giving back, then an imbalance has been created that's going to eventually deteriorate that relationship.
That's right.
So we have individual relationships, and we have relationships as a community that we have to be obligated to.
That's right.
Take that in on all levels. If you're in a relationship and you're constantly receiving and you're not giving, check yourself. Look at that man in the mirror.
And the other way around, you giving and not receiving. You got to know when to get out.
It's true.
True. You gotta know when to hold them, when to hold them, when to walk away, when to run.
Absolutely.
In what ways? Because I don't expect everybody to donate X amount of money to whoever or build this and build that. So, you know, I respect someone that, like, okay, for example, you wrote a book giving away a lot of games.
Yeah.
In what other ways should you give back other than finances?
Sometimes your presence. See, if you have, just say you have a community event and you the biggest thing smoking in the game right now. I might say, hey man, I know it might be just asking too much to have you actually out there handing out the bags of food, even though you may do that, but it would still make such a big difference for you to just be there. If we just bring you out for 5 minutes and the people see you and, oh, he right here with us, you know, and hurricane just hit and everybody, the morale is down, people have lost property, and then you come out just to be visible. That's the minimal donation that a person in a position can make. So, you know, it's not always asking a lot, but sometimes the smallest thing can be done by a bigger person and it has a bigger impact, you know? So we can't just always get caught up. See, like if they announce tomorrow where, you know, a storm is coming, it's gonna hit Houston, it's gonna be Category 5, it's gonna be big, and you find out that storm is probably gonna hit this weekend, but you got money. You can get on a plane and fly to another city and just take your family and duck all that. Yeah. But there are other people that gotta bear down and deal with the brunt of that. So whatever blessing that you have, whatever opportunity or situation you're in, you know, give something. Do the best you can, even if it's just your presence, you know. It should be more, but at the very least, you know, give that.
That's the same thing about all giving. All giving is in a multitude of layers, right? It's not just your finances. You can leverage your celebrity in all types of ways, because trust me, other people do it all day. They leverage your celebrity on things, so you can use that for in a lot of different significant ways. And that's for anything. That's even down to tithing or whatever. There's so many different ways to go about your give back. Your time here on earth, you can share that with others. You can give
and just a word. You can give a word. You can come out and say something. That's right. That's gonna just impact the whole crowd.
You can do your Russell Simmons. Yeah. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless.
That's right.
Tonight.
See, and that goes along. That goes further with some people, because some people they don't need the money. They may not even need the resources. They might need the word. If you are suffering with depression, or if you're suffering with just regular life situations, that me giving you $5,000 ain't gonna fix that. You know, but me giving you a word that can impact your situation and make you see it or deal with it in a different way, or a solution to your problem, that's gonna go further than a material substance that I can possibly provide for you. Sometimes people just want to hear from you, you know, plain and simple.
So I got a question. What do you say? So with what you just said, what do you say to those who don't value the words that you share, the words you offer? People who don't conceptualize or ingest the verbiage you deliver.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like when you passing out flyers promoting something that a product, it's a numbers game, unfortunately. They always say many are called, few are chosen. See, a lot of people are going to hear what you say, but that doesn't mean everybody is going to take in what you say or ingest it like you say. But all your job and my job is to just deliver the message. That's it. I can't force you to take it and run with it. But on a different level, some things for some people have a time release. Like I can tell you something today that you totally reject, but 2-3 years down the line, after a little more life experience, it kicks in like, oh, that's what he was talking about. You know, oh, now it makes sense to me now. So you never know when it's going to impact and hit somebody, and you never know how it's going to impact, and you never know if. But once you said what you said to whoever you say it to, it's not on you no more. That blood ain't on your hands. Because
you did what you supposed to do, job. Like you said.
Deliver the message.
You do your part. You don't have any responsibility to someone else's part. And much like farming, here's what you know for sure. It may never, or it may be time release, but what you know for sure is if you never do it, it'll never come about. There'll never be any crop that's gonna grow if a seed is never planted. That's what you know for sure.
Absolutely.
And then the other part of it too, you know, you don't cast your pearls among swine, so you discern some of that too. You're not out here to beat any dead horses or anything like that. But if you show up and do your part, that's all that's required of you.
Absolutely.
And if more of us would show up and do our part instead of being worried about him, them, and they, we would get a lot further. A lot further.
And you just don't know. You know, if you talking to 10 youngsters,
That's right.
maybe not one, but maybe only one of them will take to what you really saying.
That's right.
But people always say this all the time. Man, if I could just save one, okay, that's true. You know, you get that one, you got to ride with what it is. You know.
Message.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey, folks.
yeah.
Hey, John. Hey, brother Ed. Hey, Jason X. What's up, y'all? Hey, fam. I see y'all showing up. I appreciate y'all. Much respect. Love y'all.
You got the hands going. Yeah, that's true, man. If you're saying something
Malcolm,
that's
you gave him
pure,
permission to hit your button.
if you're saying something that's pure and genuine, it shouldn't matter. You should just be saying it because you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to necessarily. Like my dad, I feel what you just said, though. My dad told me things that I'm just now getting.
Yeah.
Like,
Time release.
Oh, snap.
The
wait a
seed
minute.
got planted.
Yeah.
But it busted open a little bit later on.
Yeah.
You know, I've had disagreements with people who we went back and forth and debated and argued about certain things, and then years later they've come to me and say, okay, I just didn't get it then. I hadn't lived it then. So you just drop it on them. You just drop it on them, and then hopefully it kicks in at some point. But the one thing about
there is a season.
right,
That's
exactly. But how many times, I know I can speak from experience on this, it's been times where I didn't say something to somebody I should have said it to, and then something happened to them.
Oh man.
You know, so you wonder, what if I would have gave him that little piece, you know? But if you settle into the mind of, man, he ain't gonna listen, you know, that man, he a fool, she not gonna listen, then you don't know some of the people who you would never think that people look at and say, that boy gonna be dead in jail, and he not gonna make it, she ain't gonna be nothing, he ain't gonna be nothing. Sometimes those are the ones that turn out to be the opposite of that.
True.
That's right.
And the ones that was on that path looking like they was gonna be just the star of the universe doing 20 years. You just don't know.
That's true.
You know, so we just got to give it up the best we can and hope that things work out for that person, for that individual.
You know,
I'm sorry.
In art, they had a performance of a youngster that was in there.
Right.
Like the real young. Like he was like what, 9?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 9 years old. He was young. He was 9 years old, and they got him up there. Everybody hyped him up. He was talking about something real positive. And it made me think about that because you said that if you give them that chance or give them that energy, rather than someone who wrote them off,
right?
You could be the deterrent on whether they are that person dead or in jail, or that person that's up here uplifting everybody.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Young people, man.
Exactly.
Young people just want encouragement to be shown that somebody does believe in them, you know. But a lot of times, unfortunately, it's a lot of parents that just have their own issues that have not been resolved, and then they impose that on their children moving forward. So they look at their life and say, well, man, I ain't turned out to be nothing. You ain't gonna turn out to be nothing either. So they impose that on their children.
Remember the 5 heartbeats, Dad? That's what he said to him, right? He said, you ain't never gonna be nothing because I ain't never been nothing.
Yeah, right.
And you never know where somebody was broken. So if you show up and you lend parts of you, you never know if you the healing agent for that person in any age, but definitely oftentimes, obviously, we all know because we grown, our stories are always coming up from when I was a kid, good and bad ones.
That's trauma. See, trauma is real.
Yeah.
And trauma is not always physical. Head trauma, blunt force is mental. And a lot of times it's the people that are close to us who have put that trauma on us. for whatever reason. So a cycle has to be broken at some point. If you have a man who's a grown man and he never knew his father, or he never had a good relationship with his father, then when he turns into a father, he has the option to say, well, I'm gonna be like my daddy was, or I'm gonna break that cycle and never let my child have to experience what I experienced growing up. So the choices are still on us, regardless of what we've been through. But we have to, despite whatever pain we feeling and trauma we are feeling, we have to reach a point where we no longer use that as an excuse.
Absolutely.
Or a crutch to, well, I never had. It's a bunch of people that could tell that story that's millionaires now.
Man,
you know, it's what you pull yourself up out the mud and turn yourself into.
And most of those I never had comes directly from a singular source. We put on those horse blinders and don't recognize all the sources that lend themselves to you in a lot of different ways. By example, because just because your dad was an example, you got grandfathers, uncles, neighborhood, school, wherever you go, you can fashion yourself out from a different source. It doesn't have to be that direct source, and it might hurt, but there's a lot of different resources out here for you to pull from, for you to pull together what that looks like for you. Because we, believe it or not, we have to decide very early the man and the woman we're gonna be.
No doubt.
Because if we fashion ourselves based on ego or fear or embarrassment, we spend the vast majority of our lives trying to correct that, trying to align where we were misaligned. Oftentimes we meet grown people who are still at 11, 9, wherever that trauma occurred, and you wondering why I see this whole big grown person, but these behaviors are like X, Y, and Z. Yes, you absolutely let yourself get caught up in a situation. 6 million ways to die, choose one.
And you never
get to
resolve.
choose every day.
See, when it didn't get resolved, because at the end of the day, you hear something so much that you start to believe whatever. See, the same way, like you said, a parent can tell a child, you're not gonna ever be nothing, you're not. That's not the first time they ever said that. It's not gonna be the last. So this is a repetitive statement that's being placed on this child's mind to where they, okay, well, I guess I ain't gonna never be nothing.
And that's why when we show up, we can't keep that message, like you said, because if you keep that message, then how this is all I'm hearing is negative. How do I get that alignment back? I got to be poured into from a positive space to build up that energy, to build up that momentum. It's a necessity. So we can't hold messages. I can't stand when people hold messages. I hate when people be like, I got a message for you. And man, if you don't stop robbing me and give me my message, I'm gonna bust you over upside your head. Give me my message. What's mine is mine. Why you holding it hostage?
Let me jump in right here, y'all. Jump in right here because y'all are touching on something that I learned in a psychology course. They call this when you constantly tell somebody, whether it's negative or positive, it's a form of conditioning.
That's right.
Called the self-fulfilling prophecy. Have y'all ever heard of it? That's what they call it. It's a form of conditioning. Self-fulfilling prophecy, whether it's positive or negative.
Right.
You keep telling somebody the same thing. You ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing. You're gonna be a millionaire. You're gonna be a millionaire. It can be either way.
Yeah.
That person is gonna, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was 4 years old. I was gonna be a millionaire.
See, bro,
he goes into that. You tell him you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing. You gonna be just like your dad. You gonna be just like your dad. You gonna be just like your mom. All my life, I'm just gonna be just like my mom. That's what I was taught. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, bro, you hit it on the net. I'm gonna say this to shout out my brother that's sitting next to me right here. See, when we first walked in this building, he had his young son with him. See, I peeped this. He gave his son the card and let his son do the card to make the door open. We got into the elevator. He told his son, hey, press number 5. He got his son to press the button. He's creating a confidence and instilling an independence in his seed at an early age to already have it in his mind that I can do things. I don't have to be a little baby and no. So all of these, that's the positive reinforcement that you're talking about. So we have the ability to make this thing go left or right.
Absolutely.
At our own decision-making process. So once you are informed on the conditioning and we understand it, we can't use it as an excuse. Plain and simple.
Yep, that's right. Those are reasons. Things have occurred to you, and there are reasons, and they're facts.
Right.
Those facts can never be changed. A fact is a fact is a fact.
That's right.
But what you do with that is everything. It goes back to the gift that we're all given, which is the gift of choice.
Right.
You get to choose. You get to choose inside and outside of it. Now you can live it, and there's a lot of people who pimp their pain. They keep it,
Right,
so they could maneuver it and manipulate with it. That's a whole nother breed of individual.
Life is about choices.
That's
you
right.
You got people in the pen that just had it hard growing up, never had opportunity, and the conditions caused them to do things that put them in a position they're in. And you got people that grew up in gated communities, had both parents, never had no reason to even participate in anything, and they made a choice that put them right in the jungle with the rest. So it's no excuse either way.
That's right.
Either way.
Absolutely.
You know, that's true.
We got questions on here. I'm missing.
I didn't see any questions yet. I had a couple of partners like that growing up, just people I know who did have both parents in the household, and they ended up in the streets. And some of the ones who had parents that was in the streets, like really in the streets, they ended up saying, I'm not smoking no cigarettes. Yeah. I'm not rolling nothing up. I'm not drinking.
Right.
I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So I think what we, just as people got to learn is we always have a choice.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy into what's given to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a homegirl who's she's Christian, right? And she said, "Well, I'm Christian because my parents made it." I said, "Well, your parents didn't make you smoke weed." Yeah. Not knocking her being a Christian.
Right,
I was just giving her because we was having a conversation on God.
Don't use
Jesus.
that as your reason. Make
exactly.
Your own.
Don't say that because my family raised me in there is why I go to church. You go to church because you want to. Because we were just having a conversation on who believes what, just
Right.
Cool little combo, whatever. But because I stopped saying that because your mama didn't tell you to smoke. Yeah. She didn't tell you to get with different different baby daddies.
Yeah, so don't try to throw that on.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
So now all of a sudden you want to listen.
Exactly. Now you want to listen.
You want to be selective with what you blame.
Exactly. So when we say that, oh man, I'm from the hood, that's just how it goes. No.
I hate when people do that.
Yeah. Oh, I was raised. We was raised. Okay, first off, I don't speak no French, so it ain't we. You know what I'm saying? I always say it's about third ward niggas home, man. It wasn't always dope dealing and pimping and all that. We have black owned. Look up Acres Home Taxi. You know what I'm saying? We had our own taxi services. We had our own stores. So to just celebrate the negativity that happened around what we were doing is an excuse. You see what I'm saying? Not every rapper that come from I hate when people, the hood, was a hood rapper. You got K, Dopey. Like if you hear their songs, man, they really telling you some life stories on every CD. You see what I'm saying? So don't use it as an excuse. I come from the hood.
All of those ridiculous misconceptions.
Yeah, all these conceptions.
Foolishness.
My daddy did it, so I did it. It's like you're not doing everything your daddy did, man. If your dad was gay, you gonna be gay too?
I mean, a lot of the narratives that are out there are simply just that. It's like playing the telephone game back in the day when you start out with a message and by the time it gets over to Malcolm, it's a totally different message. All of this is ridiculousness, and we keep feeding the wrong beast. We refuse to feed what elevates us. So the questions we have to ask ourselves is, do we like the weight that's on our ankles? Because at any given time, you could remove them and you could actually be a ship that sails versus a ship that docks.
Accountability.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, accountability.
The vast majority of people don't want to take accountability. That's why you're not free. That's why you haven't emancipated yourself.
I want to ask, do you be following me weekly? Because every time I tune in, y'all are right on, spot on, what day to day. When y'all, I don't know. This was supposed to be a little funny interjection, but nah, it's like when y'all come with these topics, in your delivery, man, it's like doors open. You know, it's like heaven's gates open. It's like the confirmation, the affirmation, and the confirmation.
Yeah,
there, man. I don't know. I paused. I jumped in to throw it funny, but nah, I just had to give you a rose.
Man, that's the reason I do this, man. I say this every show, at the end, beginning, or the middle. I don't care about no followers. I'm not trying to be popular with nobody. I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to energize that lost part of you, man. That like that. I know every brother I meet, man, especially with you, Kyle. I know you got the potential, man. Like I see it glowing off you every time I see you. You see what I'm saying? Like you can do anything you want. You feel me? So if it's resonating, that means it's already in you. It just got to come up out of you. Like I'm glad it resonates with you, but that just to let you know that man in the mirror, you on point. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You walking that path already.
Because that goes to the question you asked. You wouldn't be able to recognize it when you ask them the question about what if you saying stuff to people and it falls on deaf ears, basically. Because that's not for them.
Because you already on point.
If you already in that, you're going to hear it.
You already aligned with it, man. So when you ask that, it's confirmation to yourself.
Yeah.
You the shit, for lack of better. You know what I mean? You that star. You that star in the sky that shines also. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me that just helps me shine. And when I say shine, I don't mean like popularity, but in a spiritual way. Because that make me feel good too, though, man. To know that I can say something that confirms something in you. But I had to tell you that you are the confirmation, man. You got all the potential, and I appreciate you even saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Shine is something that you got to buff to see. Glow is what comes out of you naturally. Don't steal my ball.
That's true. That's true, man. That's true.
I still got some bars. I still got some flow in me.
Hey, we got a bar. A bar giver man right here.
Real lyrical.
Hey, and if I could rewind some of the shows I had, every time someone brings up rapping, I'll be like, yo, man, K got a line in every one of his songs on the CD that I could put against your favorite rapper. Guaranteed, man. I know, Kyle, you said you've been around. Malcolm knows. Whenever someone say, man, just rap, like, hold on. Pick a CD that K did. Later or now, and I guarantee you just one line.
Drop too.
Yeah, man, K got to see you dropping every day.
Man, that's right. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Every time I look up, it's about 8 CDs out. I'm like, man, or, you know,
so how is streaming for you? How does the streaming?
Oh, it's no different. I mean, you know, the streaming game is highway robbery. You know, the way they breaking it down. But you know, you in the industry, in the business, so you put yourself in that pool because you still want your audience to have access to get your music however they comfortable getting it. And with just say Spotify, for example, you know, somebody pays $9-10 a month where they can get all of that music. For the customer, that's a great deal. For the artists, in the way the labels are set up to where they're basically stealing billions and billions of dollars and giving you a piece of lint. I mean, it's just the game we're in. But you know, you got to still have ownership.
That's right.
of your music, of your product. That will put you in a better position to make more and do better as compared to being under these labels and these so-called major entities that you really gonna get robbed. They're gonna take the crumb and peel a crumb off the crumb and get that to you. Yeah. So you got to do the best you can until we can totally get independent. You know, because I've heard a lot of black people to talk about we need to get our own streaming company, and we do. We need everything that these entities have. We need all that for ourselves, but we got to build up to that point.
So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Ladies first.
Well, no, it's just as a community, you have to have the infrastructure that supports the community. So everything, whatever it is, the air we breathe, the toilet seats we use, like you're supposed to facilitate all of that. Right. And that is a big problem of why we can't grow up in that
ownership.
Way. All of our necessities, all of our needs are facilitated elsewhere.
Yeah, you see, and we complain about things that we don't own. We don't. So we're living in somebody's house, upset about how cold they got it in there.
Absolutely.
Get your own house, you can put the thermostat on whatever temperature you want.
Yes.
True. Yo, we got a question from Sister Jati. She says, I'm not familiar with your music. Check your post. But I just listened to your song Secret War. Please explain how it came to you. Hey, explain that, Kay.
Which
Secret War?
Oh yeah. Well, shout out to that song because that's the song that got snatched off of Spotify. They ran me off of Spotify and they ran me off of YouTube, even though they still got a few little versions of it up. But the Secret War just represents what we as Black people have been going through for years. There's some of us that know that war is being waged on us, and there's some of us, many more of us that don't. So the last line I said in that song was, how can you fight a war when you don't even know that you're in one? So the fact of the matter is we go throughout our daily lives just chasing money, chasing materialism, chasing whatever it is we chasing, and not understanding that it's a hidden hand that every day of the year, every minute of the hour, they are working to destroy us. Plain and simple. Through every means, they have weaponized every resource and everything that we use in our everyday life, whether it be food, water, music, entertainment, everything that we love and that we participate in has been flipped around to use against us to destroy us. Information through education, so-called religion, whatever it is, they turn it on us. So that's the secret war. And the best way to win that war is to acknowledge and recognize that it's even happening. And once we educate ourselves of that, then we can start fighting.
That's a few things, right? So you are absolutely correct. If you don't know that you're in a war and you can't identify your enemy, you're in trouble.
Yeah. You may be hanging out with
maybe you just won't.
Yeah.
Right? Who like in real time, right? If you take it away from it being so big and just neighborly, right? Hood to hood, neighborly, whatever, right? Where you from, where I'm from, you could recognize that.
Right.
You could recognize somebody doesn't have your best interest. And why should they? I was just talking about that with you today.
Yeah, right.
We spend a whole lot of time conversating and cultivating all that exists without the understanding that it's supposed to. Your enemy, when you in war, ain't supposed to be looking out for you. Ain't supposed to give you the best options. That sounds crazy. For what? Why would I give you options to supersede me? I've already recognized who you are. I've already recognized that you're a challenge. You're something I have to get over. You're something I have to defeat because I have all of these different things. I'm mentally at a deficit, psychologically. I'm physically at a deficit, and I'm in a deficit of melanin. So I could be destroyed easily. You already have that. I got to identify you. Not only do you have that, but your royalty commands everybody else to respect you, even without you having nothing at all. So I got to defeat you. My mom, I think I told y'all this before. I know I told you this today. My mom said if I ever got jumped, to grab the baddest one and beat the bricks off of them, and the rest of them will flee. That's exactly what has happened to us. They grabbed the baddest one in the nation globally. We keep looking at it from the America's aesthetics, but it's bigger than that.
No doubt.
Our presence commands the world, the universe. So if I grab a hold of you and I defeat you, I got everybody else's attention. I command everyone else's attention because now I'm looked at as, damn, that's the one to fear. Y'all know how bullying works. We all been to high school or some kind of school where we saw it or experienced it ourselves. That's all that's being done. That's all that has been done. When we champion our own product, our own projects, our own selves, to thine own self be true, self-mastery, and knowing who your enemy is. How you think America has been the bully to all these other countries? Because they don't identify who their enemy is, what they need from them, and how they're going to ascertain that. But if we sitting around being brow cow, still wanting to supple from the tit, we're in trouble. At some point, Even mothers who nurse their children, animals and human beings, let go. The bird at some point pushes the baby bird out the nest and says, hey man, either you want to fly because I done already taught you and gave you what you needed, or you gonna be down there on the ground where them other animals are waiting to eat you up. At some point, we have to stop that. We have to stop fighting racism. Who gives a lion up about racism? At the end of the day, while I'm fighting racism and you killed my uncle, I need to be calling you out for who you are. As they say in Jamaican song, murderer, blood is on your shoulders. That's what we need to be persecuting, the murderer, not the racist. The racist is just simply somebody hates you for being you. Man, please, bye. Bye all day. And if you take that racism and you bigger, bad enough, bold enough to turn it into something that hurts me, then you get the eye for the eye. If you think I'm going to beat you down now because I don't like you, then you might catch a beat down. But that's not our fight. Our fight is, here's the law. You murdered my relative, my loved one, somebody who looks like me, my neighbor, whatever the case may be. Racism shouldn't be on trial. Murder should. We got to have a higher level of understanding of ourselves and understand everything has an enemy. So who's our enemy? How do we identify that? We too scared to even do that? We're not bold enough to even do that? Come on now, you looking to be defeated. War is fought on many levels, not just one. We keep negotiating with terrorists. That's America's standard answer. We do not negotiate with terrorists. So why are we?
No, I agree, man. Our people do got to get focused, and we got to look at who our enemy is. And we got to really cleanse out our own culture first before we go out here trying to talk about other cultures. There's one thing I definitely agree with, man, which goes back to the secret war. A lot of us is fighting a war, and we don't even know we in one every day, and we're not focused on what we need to be focused on. Because let me say this, man. Okay, if you're gonna diss somebody, you listening to their music, you seeing how they walk,
you study.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't think we use that towards our enemies. We don't study. We might complain about them, but we don't study. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. We got to start studying them, and then we got to start coming up with solutions, which is what this show is for. Even if you don't do it with me, do it with yourself. Coming up with, speaking of solutions, man, I'm glad I just said that. And what you was talking about, art.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You were gathering the artists, and you said artists. I'm gonna let you explain it better, but artists of all kinds together to actually build something. So it stands for Artists Respecting Community. Yeah. Tell me why you built that. Like,
well, I didn't build it. I was just one of the people I was called in to help it get going.
Yeah.
Just real quick backstory. When there was a lot of beef going on between rappers, mainstream rappers in the industry, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called a lot of those rappers to Chicago to meet with him to try to diffuse a lot of this back and forth killing and beefing that was going on. So when he had that meeting, at that time, anybody who was anybody in the rap game was in attendance at that meeting. But he also asked a lot of his top ministers around in the nation to come attend the meeting as well. So when the meeting was over, he told his ministers, take this model back to your respective cities and build on this and duplicate this model. Now, the Southwest Student Regional Minister right here in Houston, Texas, Brother Abdul Halim Muhammad, been my big brother, my mentor, my minister for 30 years. And plus he knows what I do, I do music. He's been on some of my songs. He asked me, he said, hey, man, I need you to help me gather up artists, gather up people in the business to try to create this kind of effort right here in the city of Houston. So our sister Fire, she came and attended the first meeting we did, and she said we need to call this ARC, Artists Respecting Community. So it was Dr. Abdul Halim, Brother Abdul Halim, myself, Fire, Wicked Cricket, the OG Wicked Cricket, may he rest in power, Cliche, Gangsta Nip, Murder One, and we put this thing together called ARC. And this was in 2014. So we're coming up on 10 years now. And in the beginning, the main purpose was just to try to urge artists to improve the content in our music. You know, stop talking about degrading each other and killing each other, which is still the one of the main premises, but also community work, also educating artists about the business of music if you're going to be in the music business. So all of these different things were just different components that we use. So now with everything ramping up in the world, more responsibility is falling on us as artists, that we take that responsibility. And so ARC is just relaunched and rebranded to where we're going to be reaching out to younger people as well as producers, actors, and it's not just about being a rapper. It's not just about being in the business, period. It's about community. It's artists respecting community. So we all have to fuse together, and that's basically how we started that.
Man, we always talk about solution. We've been talking about solution the last few shows. There goes solution right there. If you and y'all got something this Saturday, right?
Yeah, we're doing it once every fourth Saturday of every month. So we'll be back at the mosque having our next get together, and there'll be different initiatives every time. You know, we'll have a few performances, but there's going to be times where we're going to say this Saturday we're going out, we're going to feed the homeless, we're going to be in the community doing this or doing that. It'll be different things going on every time we meet. You know, and it's not just about what we have to say or what we have on our mind. The door is always open for people to come in and say, well, man, what about this? What about that? What can we do about this? So, I mean, it's open, man. You know, we bring people together of all ideologies and people who we may not believe the same things or subscribe to the same things. But one thing that I do believe that most of us, especially as Black people, will ride on is that we need to be unified. We need to have that connection with each other and have what they call unity without uniformity. You know, we ain't got to all be wearing the same jersey, but we on the same team. So that's the goal. We want to be free first. And then any other differences, we can hash those out after the fact, and after the enemy is slain. So everybody's welcome to come out, and everybody is welcome to inject any suggestions or ideas that they have.
So it's like a forum.
Yeah.
Like a forum.
We have organized protocol at times. For the most part, there are certain things we have on the agenda that we're going to do today, but in moments where we have time, we open the floor up, or if somebody comes to us a month or so in advance and say, man, what about this? We say, okay, cool, we'll get on that next time. You know, so yeah. This is for all of us, man. It's for all of us.
And he really mean that, man. I'm talking about not just culturally, but so-called age-wise.
Yeah.
We got people there from 8 on up to 80. Well, not 80.
Yeah, possibly.
I bet it could be.
Yeah.
No, you know.
It's a safe space, man. You know, you know, we have it at the mosque, you know, so you come in, they might search you, but guess what?
Absolutely.
That means that, see, we're not gonna be sitting up in the church and Dylan Roof pulling nothing out and kill all us while we praying. You know, so it's going everybody's coming in clean as a whistle, and we can focus and concentrate on the task at hand. So that's the goal, man. We are at war. We are at war on multiple levels. Plain and simple. That's right. Protecting our women and our babies.
Very serious about protocol.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
No, I do like that, man. The first time I went to the mosque, they searched me. I'm like, oh, hold up. But
it's necessary.
Yeah, it's very necessary.
Look, when I go to the club, and if the security have apologized to me, hey, I'm sorry, bro, I got to check. I'm like, hey, it ain't no problem, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I welcome that. Because we in this club, you don't know who's gonna come. People get shot in the club all the time, outside the club. So I mean, that's something that we shouldn't look at as a negative. We should always look security at job one. You got women and babies in these buildings. They need to be able to know that if the worst thing that's gonna jump off is some hands.
That's right.
That's it. We can make it through the hands.
That's right.
Somebody walking this bad boy spraying. No, we can't have that.
Yeah, true.
And we have to recognize that is so. The NOI takes great responsibility in recognizing that the protection of us gathering. It's a lot of people gathering up together. Yes, I mean, I'm not sure if we understand how easy of a target that is for a lot of things.
Come on now.
And the fact that all skin folk and kin folk, and every organization has infiltrators.
Every.
And your infiltrator is typically not going to look like somebody else, right? That's evidentiary by Disney movies. The evil witch doesn't come to you with a bag of doodle looking scary. It's a pretty shiny apple. She looks real pretty. She's real sweet, singing la 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 songs until she turns around. Your enemy ain't approaching you as your enemy. So we have to understand infiltration is real. So yes, everybody. And if we coming in here to do some business, our minds got to be at ease a little bit, right? Most of the men, most of the people, depending upon where you're from, I'm from Brooklyn. You want to be on guard, regardless of the situation. I'm going to be scoping things out 24/7. So you don't have my undivided attention. I'm not fully engaged and enjoying this event because I'm looking around like, yo, where are my exits? And this one look like this, that one look like that. For the women, the children, the babies, I don't care.
That's right.
So that is important, that is always in place.
No question.
Plus, now why not meet up somewhere where they have a reputation of revolutionary? Yeah, security. Like,
no doubt.
To be in an area where they want to do something for the people.
Look, it's a reason why a lot of these celebrities and big time they call it FOI.
True.
Like, I need security. I need the FOI. I remember the Source Wars after that first situation. Hey, FOI.
That's right.
Because because Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings and the training that those brothers and sisters are up under is second to none. So
it's the discipline.
And the discipline, and at the end of the day, when you have that comfort, that security, because again, I keep going back to the sisters and the babies. It's like I think about, like I say, Dylan Roof and all. This dude didn't care who he shot, and he catch you when you praying with your eyes closed and he reaching in the bag. Nah, that's not gonna never happen. That's not gonna never happen on that watch. So yeah, it's more so, and that gives us an opportunity to really focus on the mission itself.
That's right.
To see if the protection is not there, then the future is not there.
That's right.
Because we losing the future in the midst of the chaos. So we got to make sure, like, the reason this is happening is because these babies need to get to a point where they're not babies no more.
That's right.
These sisters and these brothers that are in here, they need to be reproducing more babies. This is a nation.
That's right.
So
let me throw a random at you right quick. Okay. Do you think, since we're on protection, do you think the police really protect us and really help us in our community?
Not all. The ones that have a different agenda, absolutely not. No, you got to understand, any black neighborhood, you're going to see more white police than you're going to see black police. And they're not able to relate to our terminology.
True.
Mixed in with the fact that they are already, a lot of them join the force just to be able to carry out the tasks that they carry out against us. This is waiting for them to get their rocks out. So at the end of the day, they're looking for that type of action. No, they don't serve and protect us. They serve and protect whatever their devilish interests are.
So historically, they was never put in place to serve and protect us. The Fraternal Order of Police was for the policing of niggas.
Come on.
That's the birth of it. That's its foundation. Now, certain things elevate here and there, but we have to know its origin, from which it came, whence it came. And from whence it came is it was put in place to hunt.
Yeah, overseers
and that's
chasing the niggas.
Elevate, that's it. And
keeping
bring
the niggas
back.
alive.
That's right. That's
all
right.
it is.
Absolutely. And that has nothing to do with race. That's just the foundation of the Fraternal Order of Police.
See, when Darren Wilson killed Mike Brown, they went all the way back and they found where he said, when he first became a police officer, he said, put me in the black community because that's where all the action is at. He wanted to be in our neighborhood so he could do a lot of the things that he was doing. And a lot of those cats, they really come into the police, they want a body. They want a notch on the belt. So
yeah, because it's celebrated for that.
Right. And you look at a lot of these situations that we've seen since social media and all that's been popping off, we get to see it unfold. Even though it's been happening, we get to see it unfold, which increases the outrage because we're looking at it happening.
Mm-hmm.
See, the whole way that they are trained not to de-escalate, but to escalate a situation. When I watched what that officer did to Sandra Bland, where he just picked and picked and picked.
Yes.
Hey, you want to put your cigarette out? You know, my cigarette's not something that shouldn't even be a conversation.
That's right.
You know, so they have these little strategic tactics that they use that they know are gonna trigger and antagonize and trigger us into doing the slightest thing that would justify them putting out a pistol and killing us. And even times where we don't do that, we follow everything is calm and respect, they still find a way. Philando Castile, that brother did everything, was as polite and respectful as he could be, and that man still just pulled out on him and started blasting. So in some cases, I feel like those cats just won't, like Sister said, they want that body, that notch on their belt to be able to say, I got me one, because the majority of the time it's either going to be no punishment, no penalty, or
that's right,
slap on the wrist,
that's right,
administrative leave,
that's right,
hide out for a little while, we'll put you at a desk for a little while, and you'll be back.
And that's
once
the
it blows
that need
over.
To be on trial, the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't, again, the behaviors, the attitude, the like, I hate you. I don't, none of that is important to me. I'm gonna go with my favorite rapper, female, Little Kim. Look at me, look at you. If I was you, I hate me too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I get it. I understand your hate, all of that. But don't let another one. Don't let the necessary occur, because that's what has to be put on trial. The consequences. How blatant have the things that occurred have been? That's why it's an outrage,
and that's what lets us know.
People.
That's what lets us know the
Absolutely.
mindset. See, because
Absolutely.
See, the difference between, I guess we say, in the time of slavery, we had no options, period. We still have very little options now, even though we have a few, but we are actually paying the salary of those who are murdering us in the streets. You know, black folks paying taxes just like everybody else. So we paying them, we paying for our own oppression.
That's right.
You know, so we got to reach a point where, again, I'm an advocate of separation, period. It's like, let's just get the hell away from them, and we don't have to even worry about that. You know, but it's so many of us that have this love for America as it's constituted to where we're, well, you know, I mean, you know, I'm an American. The Constitution don't even call you a full human being.
True. Or a lot of us suffer from Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
You love and protect your oppressor, and you fight anyone who says anything against them.
No doubt.
That's where the biggest division lies, to be truthfully honest. The protection of the oppressor.
Right, and that's why a lot of us are not gonna make it. You know, because we gonna die right alongside of them.
Love to death.
We
love to death.
Without a doubt, we would jump in the way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
If Zulu is trying to fight oppression and go after, no.
Absolutely.
So we a lot of the conditioning that we've been under is something that's gonna be almost impossible to reverse in some, and impossible to reverse in others. Now they're not gonna ever get it, and they just gonna have to go down with the Titanic.
Go down with the Titanic. That's right. Y'all seen they was still playing the song.
They play on,
drinking, having a good time.
I'm a fan. I'm a big Dolomite fan, and Dolomite had a little skit he called "Shine" in the Titanic, and he made it with Shine with the only black dude on the ship. And he jumped out the boat and swam and left all them white folks on the boat. He wasn't trying to save none of them.
That's right.
So
don't save them. They don't want to be.
Shine. You with me? If you with me, you with me. But if you're not, you're not.
And it's okay. Yeah. We got to be very okay with that. Like it's good. We good. And then that way, I don't have to kill you later on down the line.
Come on,
for real.
Because you're going to show up in that same energy. Yeah. And you're going to be sabotaging everything that we build. So it's best that we depart now. Then that way I don't have to have your blood on my hands.
No.
I feel that, man. Because when it comes down to it, man, I'm not asking no questions. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
just gotta
right.
get this business done.
That's it.
I'm gonna switch it up real quick. I like where it's going, but I'm gonna switch it up real quick. Do you think, right? You think the music game? Now we talked about it earlier. We gotta build our own infrastructure in order to have those streaming things and everything like that, right? Do you think the music game, what we created, we've done, the Little Riches and everybody, we created all this music, right? You think it should be a gate built around it?
What do you mean when you say a gate built around it?
Do you think that we should keep people out and should have the code to come in, or do you?
We should keep people out of our business. Okay. Now, as far as the art itself, hey man, feel free. Yeah, it's for everybody. Music is universal. Go ahead, brother.
Gatekeeper, a founder, a creator, a former, a father. You created this. You don't have to. Certain generations don't hold admiration to certain generations. Baby boomers aren't favorable of millennials or Gen Z. You get what I'm saying? But we're their children. They have to still love us. They just don't have to deal with us. So that's my not rebuttal, but that's my response to you. But I actually thought of this the other day, and I thought, how do a senior class with 50 years of our culture commercialized, 50 years of culture, not just sound, not just rhythm, our culture, followed up, sold, made a product. How do we feel 50 years later? How does, I was thinking of this very thing the other day. How does a veteran with the worst mumble rapper you could find, how do they, I see online, you'll have people bash them like, oh, we shouldn't be there. You should support this, or you should listen to that. But you created this. You made this possible. You can't be mad at your own creation.
Well, let me say this, because I understand what you're saying. But at the root of all of the content that we look at and say this is negative content, this is that, there are CEOs and label heads who put that type of product out, and they market and they promote that product, which again speaks to the secret war, which again speaks to the intentional effort to degenerate and just bring down the moral compass and the consciousness of Black and brown people, right? So the labels have no problem with you shooting bitches, hoes, dope, all these different things. They have no problem putting that out. But the song I made, Secret War, I'm talking about what the Jews did to us historically as Black people. I'm going in. I'm talking about the Babylonian Talmud, all these different things. But when Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon and all these different people spoke on what the fake Jews are doing, they got shut down. They got immediately slapped on the wrist. So we can look at a generation removed from the mumble rapper as Black people and say, well, man, that's trash, or this and that. Even as rappers in a competitive nature would say, well, man, that's garbage, man. That ain't the kind of rap we grew up on. That's cool. But at the top, which in this case, the top is actually the root, there are individuals who are intentionally creating this type of musical environment, because what it also is doing is feeding the prison industrial complex. This is not an accident. All of these different types of the genres of music that have been made that have brought us down as a community, this music influences our young people, causes our young people to go out and commit crimes or do whatever it is, even if they just own and land them in the prison. Plain and simple, it's all tied on the string. So yeah, we can hold each other accountable, which we should, but you got to cut the head off the snake in order to eliminate the threat of the venom, bro. That's just my opinion on it.
To eliminate the venom, but at the same token, the actual venom is the actual antidote, and that's to everything, right? To every disease, the cure is within
Cures
the
in is
disease
in the venom, yeah.
this itself. To me, this is to me, rap, music, art is of a biblical nature when you look at it. Initially, it started out conscious, then it went to ratchet, then it went to straight ass, and now we on shh. We mumble before we're silenced. That's a straight crash Bible when you look at it. Those are biblical stories. It is literally telling you the foreseeing, the forecoming, right? Because at this point, the control is different, right? How it's being leveraged is different. And at some point, there used to be something that was sustainable through the test of time. And don't nobody have, we ain't got to argue and fight about that generationally, because you see how the foundation has been used every single generation to support it. So you know that this is strong, and it got weaker and weaker and weaker. At some point, though, these artists become more of a liability that can't be leveraged because we gave birth to it, like you said. This is our fears, our insecurities, all of these things are right out here. This mumble rap is just the calm before the storm, before it's silenced, period. And if we watch the progression of it, it progressively went that way. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Everything about rap when it first came out in its home was about being conscious. Everything was about telling stories. Everything was about the breakdown, and then it transitioned into we just want to dance, party, and bullshit, and party and bullshit to just bam, 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 all the time.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as coincidence. See, we talk about that transition. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Or facts.
Just adding on to where you're going, like it's always aimed towards procreation.
For facts.
That's our culture.
For facts. And there's a season to it. There's always been a season to it too, right? No generation before the next generation liked their shit. When rap first came out and our clothes were sagging and whatever it is we was doing or talking about, whether conscious or not, our parents and grandparents were saying, "What is that noise? What is that? Da 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 da." We weren't mumbling. We were actually enunciating, using words. So now I'm in the generation of what is that mumble? I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, and every time it comes to my mind, I'll be like, "Damn, I sound like my parents."
Well, the difference is when our parents didn't understand what we was listening to, the majority of what we were listening to, it was not negative like that. Right. It wasn't threatening. Sure, you know, me listening to Run DMC, me listening to Curtis Blow and those guys from These Are the Breaks to The Message with Grandmaster Flash, that was conscious rap. You know, so the difference is they didn't understand it because of a generational thing. That just wasn't that type of music. But now we don't understand it because of, like I say, the mumble, but the content is far worse. It's far more negative. Sure but is. So when we talk about, we can't just talk about the transition of it without addressing the reason why the transition took place, how it just didn't naturally devolve like that. You know, that was a hand, that was something imposed on it. And that's what I was speaking about earlier. It's like this genre who, when I started, people looked at it as a fad. I'm sure you can recall when people say, man, rap ain't gonna last long. Absolutely. It's gonna be gone in 2 or 3 years. It has turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry that people are looking at, okay, I can make money off of this. But again, tied into this thing, bro, is that whole depopulation agenda against Black people. So how better to do it than through weaponizing the music? So they take the very thing that we gifted in, the very thing that we love, the very thing that we talented in, and they turn it to make us use it against each other. So we can hold each other accountable and say, well, nah, but that's our job. So I agree with you if you say, well, you know, people on the internet saying, man, this music is this music. Okay, but what are we gonna do about it? Brother just talked about solutions. See, we can't just stand on a mountain condemning, and I'm not saying that's what you were doing. I'm just, we can't stand on a mountain condemning. We got to say, okay, well, yeah, this is messed up. How do we fix it? Because the person who put your tires on flat ain't gonna help you fix your tires. Plain and simple. Somebody did this. They're not gonna fix it. We got to be the ones to come along, grab our young people, make them understand, and say, hey, okay, like the sister Sukiana, right? Okay, we know if anybody we know the type of rap she does. I'm not gonna condemn that sister just as a sister, but somebody need to get to her and say, hey, sis, you know, this is what's going on. But it's more than just saying the type of music you making ain't good for young girls. It's saying, look, this is the reason why. There's somebody who is allowing you and causing you to make this and marketing what you're doing. You got to know they don't care about you either. So wake up to that. I always use the analogy when I play basketball. Is why I got this scratch on my face right now. When I play ball, if I know that you trying to trash talk me to get in my head, I'll be a fool to let it work on me. But if I don't know and I'm just hooping, I might let you trick me, and now I'm arguing with you, fight. Now I'm out my game. So the enemy has to be identified, and the purpose of the enemy has to be identified in order for us to effectively fight and ultimately defeat the enemy.
So when the money is winning, how do you engage in those conversations? Because I totally agree. You do have to show, but how do you get them to show up to show?
See, look, you have a generation of people who, all of us come from the hood on some levels. So if you've never had money, never had no real bread in your life, and then they can throw you 50,000, which ain't no money, 100,000. So it's like, man, I'm not going to turn this down. But the trade-off is for them to say, okay, well, you got to keep on making this. This is what's selling. This is what's hot. See, Too Short came out years ago in an interview, and he said, man, I don't know if y'all remember the song Short had called The Ghetto.
Yeah.
And he was dropping all that knowledge. But prior to that, Too Short was big.
Yeah.
So he went to the label and he said, hey man, I want to make a whole album with just songs like In the Ghetto. And the label was like, nah, we keep being short, keep being this, being that. So the money is the apple that's dangling in front of us. So again, the knowledge had to be implanted in us to make us understand that, look, man, money come and go. And it's bigger. Our cause and our fight is bigger than the money. Now, it will be a challenge to make somebody who's getting that kind of money understand that, to where they can denounce that type of content, because they're going to lose money. But at the same token, they'll take that money from you anyway. If you playing the game with them. Too many of us have lost money, man. Mike Tyson made $300 million in his career and then ended up losing most of it.
Because it don't. You know? So it don't. So that part doesn't matter. I know people personally who have made, in different ways, millions of dollars here and there, all types of ways, from the right way to the wrong way. And they don't have anything. Because it's a mindset, right? If it was just about money, it's a lot of people who would have overcome. A lot more people than we see would have overcome. So we have to really ask ourselves, how you make all this money and you still where you at? It's a mindset.
And it's part of the trick, because they know. See, we don't talk about how many people who were conscious, how many people who were on that level that sold out for the money. When somebody came to them and said, well, man, hey man, I get, but you can't talk about this no more. You can't rap like, and they look at that check and like, all right, cool. You know, so the money has always been the trick that they use, but we have to understand, first of all, we living in America where the dollar is constantly declining. It's not worth harder the paper is printed on. It's going to come a day where money is not going to even be relevant in this society. It's not going to even matter, you know. And so the millionaire is going to be on the same level as the homeless man at one point in terms of money, liquid. So we got to start looking big picture in terms of, okay, well, while this money has some value, get as much of it as you can. But in the end, it's about the the perpetuation of us as a people moving forward into a world that these little dollars and stuff and it's not gonna even be relevant.
Man,
I got a question for you. If I may,
go ahead.
I got a question for you that with all of this you just said, I just want to draw back just a little bit, rewind a little bit to a point that you made that I want to ask your opinion. And everything that you just divulged, I want to ask your opinion on this. Earlier in your statement, you said people believe that hip hop was a phase, a culture, it was going to fizz out. They said the same thing about disco. So my question and opinion to you is, I've heard this before, and I said I'd never forget it. Disco replaced the replacement for disco became the culture of hip hop. Everything disco was, everything you're divulging that hip hop is everything that disco was. And disco actually fizzed and phased away because it somehow lined up with the boom bap, with the sound of the drum and the treble. The genre, the art, the style, the being of disco, everything you're divulging was disco. So my question is, do you, as a veteran, what is your opinion? Did disco do nothing more than just mask itself and become this new genre that
I don't think so. I think disco was what it was, and when hip hop really started to go mainstream, like if you go back to Rapper's Delight, I think they used a sample from Good Time. Was it Good Time? Mm-hmm. It was a disco beat. So it came on the heels of disco being this popular genre. So a lot of the early hip hop used those disco beats because that was popping at the time. So then later on, if we go back and get James Brown and Harlem and Funkadelic and all that, I don't think that I remember reading something or watching something one time where somebody actually put out a campaign to destroy disco, and it got public. It got so big to where it just kind of programmed the people's minds and like, oh, disco is trash now because this entity said it or whatever. Hip hop is way stronger than disco ever was, and in the time that it's been around is a bear witness of that. Disco is, hip hop is celebrating 50 years this year. Yeah. So disco didn't last, but what, 5, 6? I don't know how long.
Yeah, it wasn't a decade.
Disco was the crack era, and weed became the hip hop era.
Well,
now disco was before.
With drugs the same way rock and roll was, the same way hip hop is.
Everybody was a cracked out. Everybody was a cracked out pimp during the disco days. Now today's everyone's a stoner.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and it's been that way since World War II. You have the hippies, you've had the ban of marijuana, but marijuana's been the longest recurring non-lethal substance.
Old marijuana.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
New so-called marijuana. Again, you're talking about weaponization. You're talking about everything we do is used as a weapon against us. So the weed that was getting smoked in 1962 is not what they smoking today. It's not
just your regular weed, and it got too many strands,
synthetic, chemical laced
thrown on it.
Yeah. It's a different ballgame.
I want to add something with everybody.
But that's the same thing that happened with all the drugs.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
the drugs ended up starting in a quote unquote pure form, and then it got stepped on a whole lot until it became devastating, automatically killing every single generation that has happened. But that's a form, like he said, weaponization. That's a form of control.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Every single time.
I want to add something with everybody said.
Yep.
First, you said what you were saying, what everybody was saying. I do think hip hop number one. I say the Chitlin Circuit. Does anybody remember the Chitlin Circuit?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the Chitlin Circuit, whether it was sports, Harlem Go Tigers was one of the last teams from when we played basketball. Hockey, we had hockey and all that first. Football, whatever word. We had all this stuff first, right? This was pre-ABA, pre-NBA, pre-all this. So hip hop is the same way.
Yeah.
I say this: hip hop first got commercialized in New York. That's why it's only 50 years up. Prior to that, it was,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And prior to that, hip hop was in the South. It was on the farms. Research the Harlem Renaissance.
The tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
It
So
came way that
all
drum
these,
beats.
all these genres of music was, like you said earlier, we need to keep people out of our business. All these genres of music was in our families. So you can go to K's family, you can go to Cal's family, you can go to Brooklyn's family, you can go to Malcolm's family, and they all had different ways of doing music. Look at Zydeco. Some of them, the only real instrument, I won't say real instrument, the only instrument they got that's popularly known is like the
accordion.
There we go. Thank you. The rest of them, they're using a spoon, a stick on steel. That was us, even blues and country. So I think the minute we let the enemy come into our business, which is why I was asking, should we put a gate around there? The minute we let them put a hand on it and tell us, because we didn't even call it hip hop. You see what I'm saying? The minute we let them put a hand on it and tell us what it is and what is popular, I think that's when we lost the culture to it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because we always, you go to different areas of America, so-called Americas, we all had different type of music, which you still got now.
And there was also a separation between rap and hip hop.
Exactly. Rap and hip hop, there was a separation between, see, a lot of, and I still say today now, man, you got two raps and two hip hops. You got the one that they tell you about, right? One that's on TV, what you say, Sakua earlier, whatever her name is. And then you, yeah.
Sukihani.
Yeah, Sukihani. Okay. You got her, and then you got someone like your cousin, Chalet. Am I saying her name right?
Oh, Cliche.
Cliche. I'm sorry, my bad. Then you got like Cliche. Then you got someone like a Drake and like a K Reno. So you, with every type of music, you got two versions of it. You got the popular version and what's called the underground version. So we still got connection to real music. You see what I'm saying? But I think we don't pay attention to it. Yeah. And that's why I asked, should we build something around that? And then the separation comes, like the secret war, the separation comes. If you want to continue to listen to this brain dirty in music, that's you. But you do have an option. Like Brooklyn always says, you always got a choice. Some of us choose to listen to that and give credit to that. During that same 50 years, you had a lot of people from all over who didn't get no credit.
A whole lot.
You know, a whole bunch of people that didn't get no credit at all for sounds that were created. Like the popular producers always get credit. But there's a lot of people that didn't get credit. That's right. So that's why I say we should build something to where it's like, all right, you can't call yourself, a so-called rapper or whatever name we deem necessary to. You can't call yourself this because this is what we call it. A spirit speaker, whatever you want to call it. And if you want to be called a rapper, you mainstream. If you're not, don't take this name. Because I think that's what happened with everything we do. It gets taken and gets to be commercialized. And we're told, it's funny, we're told what hip hop is. Well, real hip hop is like, wait, hold on, who are you? Like you said, the Jews will come over here, hey, this is what's selling. Not necessarily. He's still selling CDs. Right.
Gene Gray, Black Milk.
Yeah, all these people. Exactly.
Well, and the common thread between all of those artists, just a few you name, is they are all suppressed. They're all hidden because, again, I keep having to use. I'm not a conspiracy theorist to a degree, but I will talk about actual conspiracy. So when you see all these conscious artists that are, you're not gonna hear them on the radio. It's a reason why you're not gonna hear them, because we used to hear them on the radio, but it goes back to what we talked about with parents, with you had a deadbeat dad and all that we talked about earlier, and you grew up under that. You had a choice to say, I'm gonna be different from that. It's the same with rap music. Now we know, according to the structure that's been laid out in recent years, guys like KRS-One, they made a distinction between rap and hip hop are not the same thing. Hip hop represents that culture and those other elements to it, the DJing, the breakdancing, the graffiti and all that. So we are talking about rap music, just rappers and rap music. And I understand what you're saying. It's just so many people doing it now that it would almost, in my opinion, be impossible to corral everything and then just start recategorizing genres within the genre. You know, I just think that people who have been around and have done so much in the game and have acquired a certain level of knowledge, we just got to fulfill our obligations to try to put the word out to teach these young artists coming up as much as possible about the power of their words, about life and death being in the tongue.
Absolutely.
You know, and they take it or leave it. Just what the very first question you asked me, what do you do? How do you get the message across? They take it or they leave it alone. We just got to give it to them because they are being lured into a death culture. And if we don't try to stop them, then like Brooklyn said, their blood gonna be on our hands. Because what did you tell them to try to stop them? Man, I felt like we couldn't save them, so I didn't tell them nothing. Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's like an OG in the hood seeing a youngster acting a fool, and you don't even try to put him aside one time to say, hey man, you're gonna get killed out here, bro. You don't need to do that. And you never know. That might wake him up, or he might still get killed. But what did you do? You said what you had to say. You spoke your piece.
So we gotta recognize the bad actors, right? Because these are children, for the most part. We know the industry love the babies, right? Because the babies are still moldable, right? And they're not just submitting themselves or being taken; they're also being given up as many years as all the industries have, right? Because I'm gonna be that one to raise the bar by having the money for my family, my community, etc. And there's a whole lot of parents who have allowed those situations, who have allowed their children, their parental rights to be signed over to this pop culture. And for those of y'all who don't know, pop culture for me means the protection of predators. And a predator is not just sexual, it's all types of predators. And so
spiritual.
Yep, absolutely. And so, you know, it goes to what good does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? We are a part of it. So in all the roles that we all play on both sides of the coin, again, we're being repetitive, but there's a duality of responsibility. When we say, and I had to check my own self on this many years ago, when we start talking about them, right, whoever that may be, millennial, whatever labels they are now, because there's so many labels for so many damn things, it's ridiculous. When we start talking about them, we talk at the situation, not to the situation. That elevates the situation and understands our role, right? Our role in it is there's a lot of people doing the wrong thing by those children. There's a lot of responsibilities being put on them. They are not only being dangled a carrot, but also supported by, you should go ahead. There's a lot of real grown people trying to vicariously live through them because they never had the opportunity to be that basketball player, that rapper, that actress, whatever, that model, whatever the case may be. And they living it up through their children all the while with the real hardcore sabotage that's very internal. And so at the same token, there's so many things that exist to assist youth. We can't forget the other side that is on the sideline sabotaging them too. The ones who have a cord that they're attached to, an umbilical cord that they're attached to, feeding them the wrong food. That stuff is more severe than anything because an enemy can't just waltz in. All enemies, spiritual and physical, have to be invited in, have to have an access point, right? Most a robber, a thief, a killer is always looking for an access point, right? That's why we lock our doors. That's why we have cameras and alarms and these types of things. We got to stop abandoning the post. Like you said, we walk away. I didn't think that I could do anything, blah, 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 blah. It has to be bigger than you.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. Because when a farmer plants seed with all his or her experience, they're expecting a harvest, but there's plenty of wineries and plenty of farmers that'll tell you, we ain't grow nothing this season. You got to wait a whole nother cycle and process to get that done and try your hand again and learn from that. But you never take your hands off of it. We do too much throwing our hands up and not speaking to it as you all have spoken to tonight. We got to speak to it and we got to be hands-on. We got to show up. I can't just tell, like you said, that sister. I got to be in that space and place. When she has that moment of clarity, either the good or the bad is going to be there to represent. And whoever speaks the loudest will get her attention once again.
At least you'll have both sides too. I agree with that, man. I say that with kids too. Real quick, and I'm gonna ask you another question. If you see one of these kids on the playground, most recently, a few months ago, one of these little girls was talking to these older kids on in the playground. Like the little girl was probably like 10, 11 or whatever, talking to some 15-year-olds. And so I went up to the guy like, hey man, why y'all talking to her? So on and so forth. But and eventually one of the sisters came up and grabbed her and said, hey, don't talk to them.
Yeah.
They're not talking to you. And it was the conversation they was having.
They don't mean you no good.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, you want to come over here? Why you always want to dip off? The slide is right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Go down the damn slide. Go swing. Go play in the dirt. Right. Why are you trying to dip off somewhere where no one can see you? So I do think in situations where predators, as you say, preying on us, are trying to take us away and take us somewhere where nobody can see us to talk to us, we do need to step in and say something. If they don't listen, that's on them.
That's what used to happen in our neighborhood.
That's on them. Yeah, exactly.
You would walk that block, somebody was always saying, girl, pull your skirt down, or this, that, and the third. Young man, that's not the way you carry yourself. Walk straight.
True.
We gotta continue to do that. You see something, say something on the real.
Yeah, with no fear.
With no fear.
Because the problem is a lot of our older generation, they are scared of the younger generation. And the younger generation gives them reason. They'll snap on the older person. They try to tell them, hey, pull your pants up, and so it's a situation where a lot of older people are like, man, I'm okay. I ain't saying none of these dudes because I'm trying to go home tonight. But it's a horrible condition that we've been placed in, but we can't keep fighting. We can't stop fighting to get out of it.
That's right.
But to answer your question, there should be a gate around. We should, because the very people who have destroyed us from the inside out, they destroyed us from the inside out because they were inside in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So from a business point of view, from a creative point of view, manager, see, all this thing, all they do is they'll say, okay, well, they don't have any talent. So they'll take you and say, okay, well, I'm going to sign. It's my label, but my cousin will be a good manager for you. I'm going to tie him in. Oh, let me plug in with an accountant. My brother's an accountant. So all of your business dealings are controlled within their circle. And before you know it, you've been this thing 10, 15, 20 years. We see all of our great artists from James Brown and different guys that just die broke because it's always that one leech who stole everything they had for over a period of decades, or even if it's just over it doesn't have to be your whole career, but it could be within a 3 to 5 year stretch where you were at your peak, that's true, where the most money was generated by you, and they got in on that and they took that. So
in perpetuity,
publishing and things of that nature.
Right.
So now I'm 78 and they wheeling me out on the stage because I'm still trying to perform and do shows because I got to survive and make money. So the end of the day, the ones who really make the money, we don't know who they are. We don't know their names unless some of them pop out here and there. You may know certain names, but for the most part, man, you go back to the 30s, 40s, 50s, we don't know the names of all these people who stole money from our artists, and their legacies as far as financial is non-existent, because that legacy is in the hands of some Jew or some white man who took everything they had.
So they've been studying. They studied the blueprint of slavery. They studied the blueprint of pimping and hoeing.
Right.
And they studied the drug game.
Right.
All three of those blueprints are the base for
especially
all
the pimping and
businesses.
hoeing. Yeah, no doubt. And see, and then when it made me think about, we were talking about the check procedure in the Nation of Islam. See, it's also a white people are not allowed to come attend a Nation of Islam meeting.
Nope.
So they say, well, whoa, that's racist, man. Y'all, how can y'all do that? No, the reason why is because if we are trying to pull people out of the condition that we are in, and that condition was created by these people, then why would we invite them to our meetings so they can further plant these kind of, so you sitting next to me telling me, hey, man, you know, so no, we got to get ourselves together first. Now, once we get ourselves together and our people as a whole got an understanding of our history and understanding of how this whole thing operates, then okay, yeah, you can come in because you can't penetrate their mind no more. You can't manipulate their mind no more. But it ain't being racist towards no. It's be like it's self-preservation.
That's right,
man. You got
what is highly practiced amongst your enemy.
And go to Chinatown and try to get a loan at one of their banks.
Never.
Matter of fact, walk in one of those grocery stores, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy.
That's true.
Well, it's already evidentiary from the advertising. It ain't in your language. That already says
they got the street
exactly.
I live here,
and
but
guess
this
what?
Wording is not in English.
And
that means
what?
I don't want you here.
And here's the thing, I ain't even mad at them.
Absolutely
because
not.
We've been here longer and have made less progress. So the unity, that word comes up again because now all they did was unify and pool their resources, and they shot right past us. When you have elections and all these different things, you never hear them talking about getting the Chinese vote. Getting the such and such vote. It's always that fight to get the black vote because we only ones that still caught up in that mindset of well, let's vote our way to freedom, and it ain't worked yet. So
because maybe we gonna vote for the Lincoln or whoever else supposed to free us. Maybe we gonna vote for the right one, no matter what color he is.
Yeah,
they
put two fake saviors in front of us every 4 years. And we fall for it every single time. We'll be arguing about two more of them come election time, the same way we did every previous time.
Deciding who we want to get
the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. You want me to shoot you or stab you? I don't want to be shot or stabbed. Either one. You know, so the end of the day, that's the whole process. We don't make the progress that we need to make because we've been so indoctrinated into this thought process that, okay, you're an American, but only at their convenience. See, so we need some bodies to go fight in this war. Okay, come on, now we all Americans now. But if you make it back, then guess what? You right back being a nigga again.
That's what happened.
Put your nigga shirt back on
that's
because
what happened to the Mexicans too. They got shown when they started putting up borders. I was like, they accepted you and received you until it's time to ship you off after the vote.
They don't want your physicality.
Yeah, no doubt.
They want the tangible from you.
Come on.
But there's no room for you.
Yeah, that's why it's okay for everybody else. Black people are the soundtrack of the world, of the universe.
Come on.
And it's okay for everybody else to be black, except for black folk.
Yeah.
Black folk got to get in line and talk a certain way, move a certain way. But everybody else is out and doing the most, right? It's okay because that further sells that narrative.
We got to relearn our own creation.
Absolutely.
We do. And we got to get rid of what we got now, man.
We taught them.
But that requires.
Exactly.
How about that?
Everything they do, they got from us.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what? So we've been arguing that and debating that and putting that on the table. And then what? What comes next? So now you're here. You're understanding some things about yourself. We're talking about sisterhood, brotherhood, royalty, queens, kings. We're talking this. Are we able to discipline ourselves to not just be good time Charlie and settle with being the puppet, looking for the puppeteer, still waiting for an invitation to the table? Last time I checked, we good at carving and making our own damn table. I wrote something here. So how do you, you're a single lamb, sit at the table of a pack of wolves and expect to not be their meal?
Come on.
True.
At some point, they're salivating at the mouth.
True.
They licking their lips. It's a lot of them. But you happy because you got invited to the table, Did you ask what you was invited to the table for?
Mm-hmm.
Were you actually a guest, or were you the actual meal?
Hmm.
You don't even have to be asked to the table. You don't even have to ask to be at the table no more. You're now invited. Open door policies.
Open door policies, but to be what?
Photo ops.
You're not understanding what you're showing up for.
It's photo ops, and it's to garner, again, popularity. Okay, well, this president, he brought, you see, I'm sitting at the table with all these black leaders. Okay, so that means, I'm with y'all, vote for me. And a lot of us still fall for that.
What you said earlier when we were talking on the phone, and you said, so you have this doctor, this whatever, right? This professional black person telling you something, but it doesn't become true until it's whitewash validated.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Absolutely.
That's true.
They went to the same school, they got the same degree, better grades, all of these things, they excel. But until you get that validation, so it's our addiction and lack of discipline, right? If we continue to stay addicted, then the addiction ends up killing you eventually, right? And in order to get past an addiction, like the brother said, you got to separate. You need time away from to build up. You can't keep being fed by all the things that's rapidly coming to you on this side and expect for this side to develop. That doesn't make any sense. If I go to the gym one time every now and then, but I eat this much, because that's a true story over here, my expectation can't be something different because of what I'm feeding. I'm feeding the fat. I'm not feeding the fine. That doesn't make sense.
Then you get mad when you step on the scale.
Yep. Don't put my business out there.
No, man, I totally agree with that. I want to make something clear real quick. All black folks is not like this. There's a lot of us out here who want to do something.
Absolutely.
And who are doing something in our own
right.
particular way.
We talking so
You
much.
see what I'm saying? And what I think we need to do, those of us who are already doing something, trying to figure out what we need to do, is start coming together. We so quick to like, man, I'm gonna do this. No, we need to start coming together. The main reason I invited K, yeah, he a dope dude. Yeah, he'll rip any rapper that you like up. But he's actually in the community doing something. Like every time, like I think you hit me up once. Hey, want to come feed the homeless with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's always doing something. So I feel like if we connect, which is another reason, if you go to art or anything he's doing, support him at his show. Support. We need to start supporting our people, man. You got a lot, man. We got a brother. I know a brother Israel who makes bread. So instead of going to buy Mrs. Bread's, go to this brother. Nation's Bread.
Yeah, brother Israel. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you know him.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So I think we got to start giving attention and money and stuff like that to people who are actually doing it. Yeah. Because we have it.
Right.
It's not missing. Right. It's not hidden. It's just like I say, we got to reboot that third eye.
And you got to put in some effort.
And you got exactly
because it's not going to be right here in your
exactly.
face.
It's not going. You're not going to be able to go look on Google and be like, black owner of this, new Nation's Bread. You're not going to be able to do that. So when they have an Acres Home Market, when they have the market at the Shrine, or any market where it's involving us, where it's cultural, you got to go out there and get it and keep going to it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh man, that's too far. I live on the north side. Because you travel to any side of town right now to go get your favorite piece of chicken. Come on. You'll go to Chinatown and go get that fried pork.
Stand in line for
exactly. You stand in line for that. You'll go to the club. You'll go see Beyonce. Even though you live in Dallas, you'll travel to Houston. I came all the way out here to see Beyonce. Not whatever.
You'll go spend a bunch of money on Polo and Gucci and all this different stuff. But then, like say, see, the thing is, that's why we go into like black-owned businesses and things of that nature. We got to break ourselves out of that mindset of being so overly not critical, but condemning of black businesses the first time something don't go right.
Man.
I asked for mayonnaise, they gave me mustard. Oh, I'm finna get online and rip these people apart. We got to break that because that self-hate and envy is something that's prevalent a lot in our community that we got to fix. That spirit has to be fixed because we make everybody rich, but I don't want to see you get rich. Like, no, make that brother rich. Well, I went to school with him. One time he did this. No, man, make him rich, make her rich, and stop. And if you do have an issue when you go to the black-owned business, address that privately. Hey, go to the counter. Hey, sir, I just want to let you know.
Conversation.
This wouldn't cook all the way through. I just want to put that on
That's
your
it.
mind, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get online and see, look what I bought. Look at pink on the inside. Don't nobody go there. Don't nobody. One time.
One time.
But
You need to start writing
Yeah.
tickets for people when they do their job.
Yeah, no, that boy
That's
ticked
your
me off.
tigs, yeah.
I will call the owner over. I'll get on Google and I'll put a 5-star rating up there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then I'll get up and tell the owner of the manager,
That's right.
Hey, look here. I just went to Google and Facebook and
Right.
give you a 5-star review.
Right.
But look at this.
Look, y'all
Get it right, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
customer service
Yeah.
and food was subpar. It
Right.
had a good taste to it, but it was such and such and such and such and such and such. Y'all need to correct that. I'm just giving you a point. Now I done had people chew me out for that. You just another one of them. I'm like,
No,
I just gave you 2
I'm the
5-stars.
opposite of one of them.
Yeah.
And that's a
true.
good way to go about it. I like
That's
I
a
like
beautiful way to
I
go
just
about
gave
it.
you
That's a
2
beautiful
5
way to
stars.
go
Now
about
I'm not one of them, first of all, but I've had the other side.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, here's another. Hey, cook him another plate
Right.
of oxtails, please.
Right.
Yeah.
I done had them too.
Right.
But
Right.
that's how I handle it like that every
See,
time.
That's
Especially if
important.
it's black on.
And the
That's
thing
important.
is, see, that approach is supposed to be a reflection of how we deal with each other personally.
Absolutely.
If I have an issue with you, I'm not gonna get on Facebook and talk about,
Absolutely.
well, yeah, man, Zulu, man. I'm gonna call him, hey, bro,
That's right.
what's up with the situation? We can talk, and then it ain't got to go past that phone call, that personal meeting.
Uh,
But we just have this thing where, and then in this culture of likes and views, a lot of times we do it just to see if we can go viral off of it. You know, so see, but I can remember growing up back when I ate meat and chicken and all that, man. I was at Timmy Chan all the time. And you go to Timmy Chan sometimes, man, and the wings still got feathers on them.
man.
We still eat them, pull them off and eat. And one time I got sick as a dog eating at Timmy Chan, and once I recovered, I was right back in Timmy Chan. eating
And
it.
that's,
So
and
we
do that
give
often
everybody a
everybody.
chance,
Yeah.
multiple chances.
Huh.
to
but
disrespect
for
our
us,
money.
One time, one hit a quitter, you
That's
out of it.
right.
You know, and with these I got a song called Stop Going In, and it's talking about how these convenience stores and beauty supplies that's run by the Arabs and Asians and all, how they treat us, but we steady going in. Millions and millions of dollars later.
Why
They
got
don't live in our
masks?
communities. They don't give anything back to it ain't no scholarship fund set up for black people. They make millions and millions of dollars off of us. And when you walk in that store, you scrutinize, looked at, speculated
Follow,
on,
all of that.
talk crazy to,
Talk
kicked
crazy
out,
too, yep.
all these different things, man.
After you pay your
After
money,
you
then
pay.
you kicked out.
And but because they know we going right back in there tomorrow.
And then they fill your bag with a whole bunch of samples that they got for free from the manufacturer. Sidebar. So
come on now. And they selling
and you so
things.
happy to
They
get
selling products that
And
you
it's
would never
expired.
see in other communities also. You know, so I was
Kim Crack.
I was doing my podcast about a month ago, and I stopped at the store before I went in, and the sister walked in, and she walked straight to the bathroom. Then she came back and said, "Hey, the ladies' bathroom is locked. Can I get a key?" The man behind the counter said, "Use the men's bathroom." So she say, "Why would you tell me? What if a man walks in while I'm using?" He did this. He said. So I had my stuff on the counter. I said, "Man, I'm not gonna spend no money with you, man." I said,
Right.
"You gonna tell that sister to go use the men's bathroom?" And he was so dismissive. But the reason why is because he felt no threat of being shut down. That's the kind of pressure that we have to apply. See, he had to know that, hey, let me get up, let me walk from around this corner, get this key, let her in this lady's bathroom, because he didn't feel that pressure. He was just like, okay, well, you can go. And basically told me I can go too. I left the stuff on the counter. But until they feel the pressure and the threat that we could shut them down overnight,
And
they're
we
going
have
to continue
do
to
that
treat us.
collectively.
Yeah.
When we do that, which we should do it regardless, they don't get to see its impact.
Yeah,
When
man.
we maneuver and we require what needs to be in our communities and what those places in our communities need to do to support our
Right.
community,
Right.
that's when we raise the bar. That's when we find solutions, or when we just kick them out, period. We don't want you here.
Or when the brother or sister opens up their own store, we got to make them rich.
We got
Yeah.
to, man.
Let's run them out. Let's make it to where it's
And
not every convenience
It's a
store is
numbers
running.
game,
We
so
run 'em
y'all
out.
stop talking about their stuff is more expensive.
It's
Y'all
true.
know Walmart and the mom and pop stores. So when you buy in volume, because this is like 101, but we got to keep talking, and I don't want to assume everybody understands, right? The more volume you buy, the lower you get it, the lower you can sell it. I mean, that's just the simplicity of it, right? When somebody is small and compact, can't store as much and keep that kind of inventory, because you lose money, and it's gonna cost more. But here's the funny thing about it costing more. Y'all don't complain about that about nothing else. So I ain't really trying to hear you.
Yeah.
Because y'all spend money for people who don't allegedly have money on. Y'all spend a lot of money on a lot of extravagant things. We as a people are the ultimate consumer.
Without a doubt. Who owns Steak 48 and Maestros and all? We don't. To my knowledge, I don't think no black people own.
Nah.
But you see us lined up in droves
Man,
to
to
yes,
spend all this money.
absolutely.
You know. But so if that brother, that sister open up their steakhouse, we need to be lined up. See,
Exactly.
I saw this sister going in on Trill Burger, Bun B's, and I'm like, why are you going in like that? I mean, if you had an issue with it, just address it in the way like my brother just said. You going out your way to try to tear this man's business down. Even going so far to tell people you shouldn't go there. And I mean, hey, we got to break that. We got to break that.
We need to
And I
start
think we
sending
will.
out citations when people do that. Yo, that's a real black on black crime.
Right, no doubt.
All right,
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
I typically hate that word, because every race kills itself, not just us.
Yeah.
But anyway, because I don't know what y'all thought was happening when the serial killers and the Jeffrey Dahmers, those are white people that they was doing that to.
True.
So I ain't hear nobody say nothing about that being white on white crime. But I digress. So
True.
when one of the solutions, I would encourage y'all all, that we said a lot tonight, but definitely when it comes to what we're talking about right now, other businesses, do what Malcolm just suggested, right? Show you gave the 5-star, here's your review, but here's some communication about my experience here. You don't have to air your dirty laundry to others.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense, because that doesn't bring any type of resolution. There is nothing that a conversation can't cure. I strongly, highly believe that. And in a conversation in love, regardless of how they respond, you showed up and you did what you were supposed to do. I would encourage every last single person to do that. And I would encourage you to take your addictions of all types and unsubscribe. Begin to unsubscribe and exercise a discipline. If it doesn't fuel you, then it can't feed you, because you're going to end up running on an empty tank. And running on an empty tank spiritually is catamount to running on an empty tank in your vehicle. You ain't going nowhere. That's it.
If you don't like it, keep it to yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even listen to people who do that. I'm gonna do it. They treat me like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
Get out of my face, man. Because I'm not gonna. Especially when you in front of other people, outsiders.
Right.
Don't do that stuff while you're walking around HEB or Kroger's or the mall when you're going to buy some Gucci or something that's not even made by us. Don't do that, man.
And
now, if you want to talk
disrespect
down,
us
it's very
time and time
disrespectful. Because it's gonna come a time where you're gonna get smacked for doing that by our people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't say that. Don't get on the internet, which I don't even know why you would take time to type when it takes that much time to go talk.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
Likes and views.
Yeah, everybody want likes and views, man. You want attention from whom? Your enemy? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to stop doing that. I just told you about One Person Nation's Bread. We make our toothpaste and mouthwash. Look on my page. I'm always throwing somebody out there. The brother with the pocket that was out here. If you don't want to communicate, brother B. Look on the Pocket USA. He got his stuff. Make him rich. I'm always throwing out people who got something. Everybody eats bread. And if you don't eat bread, then don't listen. But everybody likes burgers and Subway. You know somebody who does. And he just don't make bread. He got cinnamon rolls, bean pie, sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
He has it all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what I've been wanting. Bean
Nation's
pies.
bread. Nation's bread, man. He's
Okay.
on Instagram. I don't know. I think he's on Facebook. Nation's bread. So now you ain't got no excuse and he's at all the pop-up shops. But go on Nation's bread, man, or go to the. I'm sure he's at the mosque too.
Yeah. Sometimes he's even got some of his products in a couple of stores. Like he had his bread in Pie Burns. I don't know if he's still in there, but
in the gas stations out there. A couple of gas stations.
But he real the truth, man. He's been the truth, bro. Straight up. Man.
And he's not, even if he was expensive, you should go get it. But he's not super expensive, man. This brother makes it from his hand.
Bro.
He don't go purchase Mrs. Baird's and wrap it up in Nation's bread.
Right.
He stays up all night, puts the yeast in there, raises it up. He makes sourdough bread, wheat bread, some other bread I ain't even heard about.
Why you taking a dig at most companies? There's a whole lot of companies out there putting their labels on stuff from China. Why you taking a dig at them?
Because they need to dig him up and start using his nutrients. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So he the truth. I'm always gonna speak the truth.
And another thing too is that all bread, just like a lot of other food products, they're not created equal.
That's right.
So his bread is the ingredients is more nutritional. See, a lot of the bread that we buy out of the store, believe it or not, some of that bread is laced with pork products in the bread.
Okay.
So you got to be very careful, because if you're a person that doesn't eat pork and you don't want to even ingest that, whether it's for religious reasons or for health reasons, you have to know all of the different names that pork goes under, all the different disguises that it's under. So back to that weaponization. So you got a brother like Brother E.RTISTS who, you know, the ingredients are going to be good ingredients. He's not trying to put no poison in you. So all of these things have to be factored in when we start complaining, or when we start going out our way to support people who don't support us. If you research a lot of these companies that we spend money with so much, man, some of these companies they are supportive of a lot of racist organizations, and
you better say it.
They are the prison industrial complex. They're tied in. It's like, so we don't even know who we give. We are paying for our own oppression. So we just got to do more research, man. I'm that dude that be in the grocery store just looking at ingredients for 12 minutes. It's like, people think I'm the weirdo that reads the back of cans and products now, but you got to be that way, you know, if you want to have a chance to just be as healthy as you can, and it still don't guarantee you, because they poison in the so-called good food. You know, it's a war, man. It's a war.
Yeah, because you done gain more intelligence. So here's the thing. Again, it goes back to the beginning of the conversation. Your enemy is not here for you, right? So as you elevate, it has to elevate its weaponization, right? We can't keep showing up to the gunfight with a knife. Y'all move to gun. Okay. I can't.
Yeah, let me put this toothpick in my pocket.
We can't do it like that no more. I gotta elevate that. Now it's not a manual. You over here like okay, we on automatic. So as you grow and elevate, and I honestly think a lot of people have been afraid of that, especially our older. And I say that lightly because I'm one of our older, but especially our older people, that's been a fear, right? If I grow and I elevate, then they increase as well. And a lot of our older people back then stayed even killed, right? Because if I don't upset it, then it won't upset me. And I can stay in this comfort, even though it's not good, I can manage it. And we have to continue to grow, continue to elevate. If you continue to grow and elevate in truth and love, you will surpass your oppressor. Here's what I want to say to people who dibble and dabble in stock. What is the stock exchange call ID for oppression? Because if there is one, then you probably should invest it. Because like the brother said, we funding our own oppression. You can get a lot of money.
You're rich overnight.
If there's if there's an actual index, y'all who make investments, let us know what that is. Since we funding it, we might as well make money off of it. I mean, because right now we in a lose-lose, but maybe that can make us a win-win. And I'm saying that to be funny because ain't no damn index that you can invest in for your oppression. But look at it from that perspective, so you can understand real numbers, so you can understand it in a different perspective than just direct, because direct, I understand, is too much for some people to digest. And that's my piece on that.
True. Look, we already over time, man. I don't want to keep nobody long. We at 2:04. Look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to say their last words for tonight. And I want y'all to check out ARC this Saturday, even if you just come to just the people scene, you know what I'm saying? Just check it out. Support them. Support them. Sit back and listen. Support them with your energy. If you have it, support it with your finances.
And just your presence.
Yeah.
You know, that means just as much as any of that. You know. But yeah, every fourth Saturday of the month, we're at Mos 45, located at 4443 Old Spanish Trail, right here in Houston, and from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So just come through, sit in, see what we're talking about. You might like it, you might not, but either way it go, just give yourself an opportunity to come see what we about.
What's happening on those days one more time?
Yeah, we have our artist respecting community meetings, our gatherings where we bring in rappers, singers, graphic designers, videographers, whatever you do, community people, activists, whatever you do, and we just build on solutions to make our community better, but through our art as well, because most of us are rappers and singers and all that. So, you know, we meet every fourth Saturday at the mosque on OST.
What is your call to action to the community?
The call to action into the community is to use our art to raise the consciousness of not only other artists, but our young people and our older people who may have a misconception about rap music, and to be visible in the community where, like Brother Zulu was saying, we out feeding the homeless, we out giving away clothes and just carrying out different initiatives that will make the community better, because we don't like to wait on the government, because they've already proven. We don't even like to wait on the state or the city, because they've already proven that they're going to be slow to move. But the people have always shown the ability to move faster and unify faster at times than these government entities.
Y'all check out, go support all of the albums too. You got anything out coming out?
Yeah, man, I just dropped the new one, man. My new album is called R.ESPECTING. It'll be out middle of next month on all the platforms, but physical copies, you know, we have a website called South Park Coalition Site.net, and you could actually pre-order. We just put it up for pre-order last night, so it's a brand new album, R.ESPECTING, meaning that I see it, then I say it, and you hear it, and then when you hear it, you see it. You seeing what I say, so that's what it is.
SPC has an album. Did it already come out?
Yeah, the SPC album is not out, but we got a group album, South Park Coalition, myself, Point Blank, Dope E, Klondike Cat, and just the whole SPC. That's our rap organization, started back in '87, and we got that album dropping called The Ties That Bind. And I've been to Canada 2 times this year and did an album each time I was up there. So literally, we got 4 albums in the pipeline getting ready.
Congratulations.
What about the comic book?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yep. Dropped a comic book about a year ago called The Galactic Quest for the Mystic, 10 volumes, based on a song I did with my homie Dollar Bill about 10 years ago. We just released a limited edition alternate cover to that comic book. And so you can go to Martial Arts Productions, both with a Z at the end, .space, and you can check out the comic book. So, you know.
You can tell them about your podcast.
And
the YouTube video.
The Underground Dialogue podcast, right on YouTube. And we do interviews and we cover a lot of content, a lot of current events and conscious content. We try to just inform the world, but it's Underground Dialogue, so we rough, rugged, and raw. You know, sometimes against the law. I'm just playing. But yeah, you get at least an episode a week. The latest episode we did, we just interviewed J-Dog, so that's a pretty powerful episode. So y'all tune in. Just type it in on YouTube. Show us some love, man. We got a lot going on, and busy is a blessing, man. So we thank God, the Creator, for all our blessings, man, and thank y'all for having me on. No doubt.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
One more question for me, and that is the title of this episode was artists respecting communities.
Okay, sounds good to me.
In about 1 minute flat. I
Sound-
need y'all to summarize that. What does that mean?
Already. Yeah, well, yeah. Basically, the title basically speaks for itself. You know, as an artist, we're blessed with a gift to do music, but we have the option to take people in the right direction or the wrong direction. So if we truly respect the community, then we're gonna give them good food, good mental food in the form of our music. And so we won't destroy them. We'll grow it instead of destroy it.
And you're asking not only music artists, but all artists, all creators.
Whatever you do, you could be a sculptor. I don't care what you do. You can make houses out of toothpicks. Whatever your art is, and if you just a concerned community citizen, you're just a person who's in the community that's concerned for the direct. You have a son, or a grandson, or a daughter who you see may be going in the wrong direction, and you need some guidance. You need somebody. There are many people, even if what our platform is for that particular day, you may have something else on your mind. There's plenty of people now that you can talk to that can help you with that. You know, we got counselors, we have attorneys, we have see the black community, we got everything we need. We just have to tie on a string and create a solidified unit that people can go to. We want to be that as ARC, where, hey man, if something's going on, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me call that ARC and see if it's a way they can help. We try to grow to become
That's
that,
beautiful.
you know, but that's what we need.
That's beautiful.
Right there.
Absolutely.
We're not there yet, but we trying.
That's
We trying.
beautiful.
Now you doing it. Hey,
No
you tell me that.
trying.
Ain't no trying.
Cancel
Okay, my
trying.
bad.
You doing it. I
It's
was
what
there
I
that Saturday.
see,
I know
and this
you
is
doing
what
it.
it will
Speaking
be.
it to existence.
Yeah,
It's already existing.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
y'all make sure y'all plug in, tune in. Y'all got enough to unsubscribe from and replace it with some things to subscribe to. It's been back to back to back that a lot of things have been introduced. A lot of solutions have been introduced. I thank you, brother,
Yeah, no
Oh,
doubt.
for
appreciate
continuing that
Yeah,
ball rolling in
doing
that way.
Yes,
Because
sir.
each connection, each link keeps linking. Before we finish, we're gonna have them old school Dookie rope chains.
I ain't mad at that. When I was about 15 years old, Astroworld was still around, and they had this place called the Southern Star Amphitheater, and Run DMC, LL Cool J, the Fat Boys, and Houdini came to, and now you know at that time that's like humongous.
Yeah.
And we was walking through Astroworld that day before the concert started, and Jam Master Jay was walking through there, had one of them big dookie ropes on, and we were just like, I just wanted to wear one day, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was the thing, man, straight up.
So we won't be worried about Cuban links. We got Afro links.
Already.
And so our Afro links keep linking, and we will continue to build this chain
That's right.
that makes connection after connection after connection. Now that's growth.
No doubt.
That's what's up.
True.
Don't no house stand without a foundation. So we got work to do, but work is being done,
That's right. That's right.
and we got to celebrate that,
Huh.
right? And I don't mean party and bullshit celebration. I mean continue to build. Continue to build. Remember that? Who sang that song? Was that? I ain't finna sing, but I got work to do. Who sang
Oh
that?
yeah,
Oh,
I know the Ozzy Brothers sung it.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think somebody who did it.
Somebody,
afterwards
Vanessa
is what
Williams
came- thank
remade
you.
it later
That's
on.
what came to my head
Yeah.
first, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, nah, I go further back
Yeah.
than
She
that.
crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they both
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So that's my dedication song to y'all.
Kyle, you want to say something before we go, man?
Man, it's been
I flows. My bad. I flows.
That's right.
I flows.
the man with many hats, Mac the Barber, I Flows Entertainment.
Yeah.
What man, whatever. Not whatever, but it's been touching. It's been refreshing. It's been steadfast. It's been, pushing me through the small cracks that I'm still on the right route. So it was food. I'm full. for tonight.
Already. Mouth, you want to say something before we get out of here? And then I'm closing down.
I'm good. I got y'all recorded as much as I could. I'll get it posted later. Another home run. Which the Astros would have did.
Oh man, don't talk about that.
Did more of that last night. It broke my heart with another home run by Mr. Zulu and Brooklyn and our blessed guest, C.K. Reno.
Respect, bro.
Thank you for coming through, my
Thank
man.
y'all for having me, brother.
I'm gonna, go ahead.
No, I was just honored. Go ahead.
Look, my kids always come at the end.
Here at the
Here's that. Oh, that's my hair.
so tornado actually ran around
All right.
and
Give me one. Can I say something real quick?
Stretch.
All right, we're gonna end it like
bones.
we're gonna end it like this, man. I appreciate everybody listening and tuning in. Get them real quick. I appreciate everybody listening and tuning in. Y'all go look at art. This Saturday, ARC, Artists Respecting Communities. Remember, artists, that's how they communicate. You see what I'm saying? They're communicating to you. And however they communicate, listen, because they're trying to respect the community. Anybody showing respect, you should also show them respect. You see what I'm saying? Because you show a lot of people that disrespect you respect, but don't want to show those who are respecting you respect. So start doing that, man. Also, the table, when I told everybody bringing something to the table, tangible action, bringing liberation. I'm still doing that get together. I had a few things go on, so we're going to switch it up. But if you're trying to bring something to the table, get in contact with me because I'm just gathering people who really want to do something. And to close the show out all together, like I say every day, accountability. Look yourselves in the mirror. If you want to make a change, you can do it. You don't got to be on the internet. You don't got to be on TV. You don't got to have, like you were saying, likes and views. You don't need all that. Just go out there and do it. And if you find someone else who's also working in that or who's walking in that same alignment, align yourself with them. You see what I'm saying? We know the problems. It's time to start doing the solutions. So get together. It's cool to discuss the problems. If you have an hour conversation, 20 minutes should be about the problems. And the rest of that conversation should be solutions. 40? Yeah, so 40. The rest of the 40 minutes should be about nothing but solutions. And after that hour conversation, there needs to be some type of concentrated action. You see what I'm saying? Where you actually doing something. Stop having convos without action. Prayer without action don't mean nothing. You can pray all day that you're a millionaire. Exactly. You can pray all day that you're a millionaire. But if you're not taking those steps to gather money or to make money, then you're not going to be a millionaire. You're just going to be talking about it. You always got choices. So don't choose the choice of just sitting in the chair waiting for something to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to end it like that. Y'all tune in next Tuesday. Everything you heard Kay say, I'll be posting it on my page. He's on the Real K Reno on Instagram and Facebook. What is it?
Real K Reno on YouTube. The Real K Reno #1 on Instagram.
He also got a little YouTube, I guess you would call it shows he does. You catch it like what, 12 midnight sometimes, 11 o'clock, depending on when you feel like getting on.
I go live. Yeah, I go live
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah, so he has to do, it'll tell you what
like running
topic.
my mouth.
So y'all check that out too. He ain't give you nothing but knowledge. Do you still have copies of your book out or
Yeah. When you go to the site, South Park Coalition site.net and click merch, everything on all right now.
already? So check the book out because he's giving you instruction. If you are an artist and you want to know how to write songs, because you know what, you never signed a deal.
No.
He never signed a deal. So when he say he didn't sell out, it's actually the truth. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sell his signature for any amount of money. So he got the book. He's giving you the game. Get his book. We'll be here next Tuesday with some more solutions, discussing problems, whatever. If you want to do something, always contact me. I made a couple friends off here, man. We stay in contact and we really talk and stuff. So yeah, get his equipment. Sister Brooklyn over here. Check her out on Instagram. Brooklyn's on Instagram, right?
Yeah, 2 N's. On
Two
both.
N's. She's a soul coach. So if you need your soul touched,
Hey.
you know, you hear her on here. So she's giving you some of it right here. So hit it up. My boy over here gonna have his barber license here soon, man.
Oh,
So you need to get
congratulations.
chopped up. What is it? 3 months?
I got 3 months left.
You got 3 months left.
Congratulations.
So Check it out. Malcolm gonna be playing the shows. All the ratchet stuff is coming up. If you want to shake it, take it, and bake it, he got you. Put the kids to bed because it is after hours for them to be awake. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let him tell you.
It's
the
about to
rest,
get
man.
dangerous out here, y'all.
Thank y'all.
Hey, so family, thank y'all for tuning in again. I appreciate y'all support. I see y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight to another edition of the Rely Radio Show, live on Real Talk 100 Radio. He likes to mess with me, y'all. Now she getting in on it.
It's fun.
It's fun. I don't mind, y'all. Hey, y'all, keep it locked to Real Talk 100 Radio all day, every day. We got something for everybody. We got something for the old heads, Southern Soul. We got 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B hits, and we got a lot of independent underground music artists. If you are a music artist, you want to send your music in, all genres are accepted at Real Talk 100 Radio with 2 O's at gmail.com. Please put them 2 O's on there, or we won't never get your communication, y'all. That's all we got tonight from the Rely Radio Show. It's called Rely. It's spelled differently, though. It's not R-E-L-Y. It's R-A-U-L-I. And it stands for Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energies.
Got it.
Yes, man, I got it, man.
You got it.
I've been rehearsing it. All in the shower, I'll be saying it, man. I'm all in the shower. If you want to know more about rebooting and uniting lost energies, tune in, like the man already said, every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. I know y'all saying, damn, it's 11:21. Hey, we own the place. We can go longer. They have dope conversations, and we hate to turn them off at at exactly 10:30. So we let it go on because it's dope conversations, philosophical conversations, communication about the community. If you're about the community, if you're about philosophical conversations, tune in every Tuesday night. That's all we got tonight, y'all. Good night. Good night.
Man.